I'm going to take it from here. So here we're assuming that you already built your app, right? So and you did it in GCP, so you use Google App Engine to build it. And what normally happens when you build an app is that you get this weird looking URL that is really hard to type and you keep forgetting. That is always in this form. In our case, we have afrodinner.uc.r.appspot.com. That's a little mouthful. What you want to do is to have something really simple and that looks really professional when you present your app to other people. So what we're going to do here is we're going to try to buy a domain, and when we buy the domain, we're going to point our app to the domain, right? So this URL right here, we're going to point our app to the domain, so that at the end of the day, you can type in afrodinner.com, and it can take you straight to your web app. So that's what we're going to try to do. And to do that, we need to buy a domain. We need to own the domain. So let's see how we're going to do that by going to Google Domains. And you can Google it as usual, or you can just type it in. But for the sake of this video, I'm just going to Google it so you can see that in action. So you go Google Domains, Google Domains, Google Domains, type that in, go to Google Domains, and then we're going to try to buy a domain. So for this video, let's assume we'll call it My First Food App. Something. Let's see what is out there. So you type in, using this get domain search box here. You type in My First Food App. It's probably not available, but let's try. So you click on get it, and if it's out there, and if it's not taken, you get a chance to take it. So let's see. It's available. Wow, awesome. Okay, so what you do is to click on this. You want the .com, and then you add it to cart, and you walk through the whole process. And it's pretty standard. So it's just like buying anything anywhere. So I'm not gonna bore you with the details of how to buy an item using add cart. So we're not gonna go into that. So let's assume at this point that you've already bought your domain and you own it. So now we can go into your GCP, and then we can walk through how to do that. So let's go into the GCP or your Google Cloud platform, and let's demonstrate how to do that. So from here, we assume you have the domain, and in our case, we actually have the domain. We call it afrodinner.com. So this is the domain right here, afrodinner.com. We bought it, we own it, so we can use it. So now let's go into your GCP. So the first thing to do when you get to your GCP is to go to your Google App Engine and then try to locate the app, and then you can point the app to the domain. So let's go to our app, Google App Engine, and then locate our app. So go to App Engine here under Compute, go to Settings, and then click on Custom Domain. Right, and again, just to refresh your memory about what we're trying to do here, is we're trying to point our app to a domain, so we can type it in as a regular website when we're trying to use the app or we're trying to access the app. So that's what we're going to try to do here. So click on Add a Custom Domain, and then you see your afrodinner.com or whatever you bought. In our case, we have Afrodinner. You probably have something else. You're going to see it pre-populated here. That means you did it correctly. You've been able to buy the domain, and now you own it. And then click on Continue. And you have these two pre-selections here. You have www.afrodinner.com and you have afrodinner.com. And the rationale behind this is that normally when people are trying to go to a website, they're probably going to type uber.com, something.com, or they might type www.uber.com, or they might, these two variations. But there are a bunch of variations out there. But normally, that's what people do, so we're going to stick to these two. If you have ideas about how people might type a website or try to find an app, you can put that in here. But we think these two are sufficient for most cases. So click on Save Mappings, and then you see it run, complete. Click on Continue. And you have this instruction here. So what's going to happen is we're going to go into your DNS records, and then we're going to try to update the records using the 3 record types. So there are 3 record types. You basically have the A record, the AAA record, and then you have the WW record, but quadruple A basically. So you have 4 A's. So we're going to go into your DNS, and then we're going to update the record there, so we can link it back here. So So now let's go here back to your Google domains. Click on Afro Dinner, and then scroll down. Go to DNS. Sorry, go to DNS, and then scroll all the way down to under resources. So go under custom resources, customer resource records, and that is where you're going to do your update. So here, we're going to try to update the DNS records. So let's go back to GCP. And here, we're going to try to do this quickly. So let's try to see whether there's a pattern. And in programming, you try to look for patterns and you can generalize. So there's a pattern here. You can see everything is the same except for this number right here. So you have 32, 34, 36, 38. So we're going to try to do that to move a lot fast. So you copy this right here, and you go back to your Google domains here, and then you enter that here. So this is an IP address, basically. It's an IPv4 is an IP address to point back to the app. So you put that in here, and this is an A record. So make sure this is selected A record, and the alias is at here. And please do not click add, because if you click add, then it's going to go to backend and populate. You don't want to do that right now. You want to put in all the information before you click add. So click on this plus right here, and then paste same thing here. As I mentioned, increments of 2, so 4 here. Click on that here again. Put that increments of 2, so 6 here. Click on that again, and now you have 8. So there are 4 records in total. So now you can click on add. So add. Now we're going to go to the second type of record called the quadruple A record, or the AAAA record. If you want to go with a mouthful. So let's go there, and now let's go back here. And we try to cheat again. Here you can see a pattern. So you have 32, 34, 36, 38. Everything else is the same. So copy this. No, we don't got all day, so we're trying to do this quickly. Go back here. This is 4A's right here. So that's a record type. Put in your IP address, IPv6 in this case. You put that in there. Click on plus. Put that in there again, and then increment to 2. So this is 4 here. Click on that again. Increment to 2. So there's 6 here. And then one more record. Put that in there. Increments to 2. So there's 8 here. So that, and then you click add. Now we're going to go to the last type of record, which is called the CNAME record. So go back and then copy your CNAME. The alias is www. So just the whole logic, right? When someone types in www, you want it to point in this right direction. So we're going to have to put that in there. So let's go here, back to, okay, 1 second. Okay, so let's go here, pick the right type of record, CNAME. Okay, put in a domain name here, and then it's www. And here you can just go straight to add. So you add, and you got that here. So you're done with this step now. Now we can go back to our GCP and complete the process. So go back to your GCP, and then click on done. So you're done. And let's wait. No, it's gonna run in the back end, and then it's gonna populate. And to see what I worked, let's go back to our app, and then type in the new URL, which is afrodinner.com. So we can just type afrodinner.com, see what I worked. Afrodinner.com. Voila, it worked. So we can try www.afrodinner.com. Did that work? Let's see. .afrodinner.com. That worked too. Okay, let's see what our app is run the way it used to run. So we can type that in real quick. See, is it working? Awesome. So thanks for your time. This is basically it. Pointing your app to a domain, and this is how you do it. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Asari. And this is our tech hour, and this is what we do. So patronize ervent.com. We thank you for your time again, and bye-bye.
Bye.